Podcast and 1130 Entertainment presents Beyond 1130.
Yo, what it do, everybody? Welcome to the season premiere of Beyond 1130, man. It's your host, Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Appreciate everyone tuning in here to the 1130 Podcast YouTube channel. If you're new to the podcast and you haven't done so already, do me a favor before we get started. Hit that subscribe button down below, you guys. Yes, like I said, we made it. I made the promise, you guys, all the way in the summer before I took a break and became a dad, that a new show was coming. Grown folks are talking, and I got some grown folks with me. Beyond 1130 season premiere. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna have some fun, but I'm not alone, man. I'm definitely not alone. I got some great, awesome people that's joining me here on this season premiere episode. We're not gonna wait. We're gonna get to the first person. She was joining me on one of my adult episodes when I first started. Rose Cee, aka Mama Life, and I got my fiance following her. Just about everybody follow her. She be dancing her ass off, just like we was just talking a little bit before the show. Cause Mama Life be killing it. Mama Life, what's going on?
What is up?
How's it going?
I'm good. Just chilling.
Hey, that's what's up. I appreciate it. You taking the invite, coming on here on the season premiere episode of Beyond 1130. I don't just have Mama Life, you guys. I also have my guy from the Dirty Hills Wrestling Podcast. Yes, I had him on my wrestling podcast. Dope time chopping it up with him and good brother. He been all over the place, man. My guy Kofi Weedston. Kofi Weedston was goody.
Killer, man. Everybody know the name, they know the slogan, man. You know, we rip our shirts off like Hulk Hogan, man. We man. We celebrate with you, man.
Hey, that's what's up. Man. How life treating you?
Oh, I can't complain, man. Stop complaining. You got something to complain about.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Cool. Kofi Weedston in the building, man. Repping the Dirty Hills Wrestling Podcast. Also, you guys, I have the host of the Notorious Moms the podcast, Tania. Yes, I had her on my episode back when we was on EB Radio. But yeah, that's that. But we here, man, on this episode. Tania, what's going on?
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. Can't complain. I'm here. Happy to be here. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you coming on. Also, last person, you guys, I just had him on a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, yo, I gotta bring him back. And you know about this season premiere episode, my guy, Dr. Shockalou, the host of Shockalou Dreams, the podcast on YouTube. Dr. Shockalou, what's goody?
You already know what time it is. This is your boy, the infamous Dr. Shockalou, one part of the infamous podcast show, Shockalou Dreams, where we talk that shit, walk that shit,
Dreams,
and always be about that shit. Greetings and salutations to everybody, and I hope that everybody's having a good Thanksgiving weekend and a good day today. So, how's everybody doing?
Good.
No complaining.
Good. Doing wonderful, man. But Shockalou just said it, though. How was everybody holidays? Did everybody eat good and stuff?
Definitely.
Ate too much.
I know I did.
Still eating good.
I ate everything, all the fixes. Lady number one made all the meals. She made some turkey, some pork. I had so many pies. Man, I don't even know. I know I had all the fixes, like I said. Once again, all the fixings.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, that's what's up, man. Once again, appreciate everyone tuning in here on the season premiere episode of Beyond 1130. And here on this new show, we're going to be talking some grown folks talk, man. As you can see, this episode is suitable for adults, man. So we're going to get into it. Like I said, we're going to be talking sex, parenting, relationships, current events, all that, man, here on this season premiere and this season opening episode, man. But this episode, we're definitely going to be diving into parents. So I got some parents here, and we're going to dive into some topics. You guys ready? First one?
Yeah, let's
go.
go.
Let's get it.
All right. The first topic, I talked about this here on the podcast recently, though. I asked the question on my social media. Since you guys are all parents, and me and my fiance was having this debate. If you guys have a little kid, and I say 4 years old or up, or we're not talking about a little infant. Of course, they gotta eat, they gotta have a bottle
Mm.
though. But what is too late for for a child to be going in the refrigerator eating whatever they desire to eat? Whoever want to go first.
You
7.
know, for me, all right, she gonna say 7. Okay. For me, I have a 4-year-old, and I actually have that problem. Her biggest problem is going in the refrigerator whenever she feels like it. I usually cut it off at 8 o'clock. I say after 8 o'clock, no more snacks. I eat dinner. That's it. I want something to drink. You get some water, some milk, or something. But other than that, you can't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? I usually cut it right off at 8 o'clock.
Okay, 8 o'clock.
I don't want to
Okay.
be. Yeah, because I don't want to be my grandmother. My grandmother cut it off at 5:30. She went to bed. That was it.
Oh
5:30.
wow,
I mean,
5:30.
Wow.
Okay.
you could get nothing to eat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
they
That's
usually like medically they say, and the only reason why I know is because I work for doctors. So they say that kids shouldn't eat 2 hours before bedtime. So whatever their bedtime is, the only thing they should have 2 hours before they go to sleep is water. And the reason why they say that is because if you feed kids right before they go to sleep, they could develop acid reflux. And that can, give them issues later on. So for me, my daughter's bedtime is like 8 o'clock. So usually by like 6:30, 7 o'clock, I like to give her like her last meal and that's it. But I'm having some difficulties because she still drinks milk
Mm.
before she goes to
Okay.
bed. So, but it's a comfort thing. I'm working on that though.
Okay. How do you handle those difficulties though?
um, I just been giving it to her because I don't want her to cry.
Okay.
And that's the truth. That's the honest to God's truth. Like,
Okay.
but I've gotten scolded for that because my doctors always tell me they're like, you shouldn't be giving her anything before she goes to bed. So that's that.
Okay. Shockalou.
I agree with her. Usually about 2 hours before you lay the child down, because gives them time to digest just everything in their system and they can relax and stuff. But yeah, you shouldn't be letting them eat any snacks or anything like right before they go to bed, because it ain't gonna give them time to do anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everyone here. Because I was having, like I said, I was having this debate with my fiance, and she was more so just like, "Well, no, like you should just give your kid just what they want." And I was like, "Hold on, wait a minute, no, like, we pay the
No.
bills and we put the food in the house, and if they think that they just can get up and just go downstairs and get some milk and cookies whenever they want to, then it's going like come on, are we the parents or are we their friends or something? So
Like, when did they start paying bills? If they ain't paid no bills over here, no. You you eat when we tell you it's time to eat.
Right.
yeah. Yeah,
Ain't
They
I've
no, I'm gonna
tried.
come up in here and eat all the snacks and all that. Well, you paying for them? If you paying for them, all right, yeah. Hey, you can tear them all up. But till that day come, they're ration. You getting them rationalized.
yeah, and I think it's more so sometimes, with us being parents, so sometimes that, when we got a child and or for me being a first time dad and your son may want something, you might just want to just give it to him, but you also gotta learn when to say also no and have restrictions and guidelines on certain things though. Just how like Tanya was just saying, like I gave it to him like truth, like, and that's kind of like some of us sometimes it was like, hey, you know you ain't supposed to be having it, but look, just yeah, don't ask no more, that's it.
I got a big problem with that because I spoil you mine. So like, if you ask me
Yeah.
more than 3 times, I'm like, get out of my face and get whatever you want. And that's just it. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't like. I'm one of those dads. Don't irritate me. Don't bother me. Do whatever you want.
I mean, you could let it slide once or twice, but it can't be repetitive, because then, like, what are
Oh,
you teaching them?
nah.
You feel
yeah.
me?
They can walk. They can walk over me.
Nah, you can't, man.
Nah,
You gotta
for
let
Yeah, I'm
them
gonna
know
spoil you.
two
I'm
things,
definitely just
man.
spoil you.
You gotta let them know, man. You are the one that's gonna give them that unconditional love. Whenever you need to
Oh, they
talk to
know. They know.
somebody, you're that one. But you also gotta let them know, man, you are the right hand of Jesus Christ. you will
Yo, they
inflict
know.
that pain on them.
Oh, I
You
got
got
I
to.
got to look. I got to look.
Because I mean, look how pretty much I think y'all are all, probably like 70s, 80 babies, maybe. Am I
Yes,
right? Okay, so
Yeah.
y'all grew up the old ways. Y'all
that's
know.
a fact.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got a lot of ass whoopings.
okay.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what happened to a
Definitely.
lot of us now. Since
You
that
Definitely.
know,
happened to us, a lot of us are like, oh no, we're not going to do that to our children.
right?
Hence, by doing that, what do we got going on now? See, if
Yeah.
you would have did them whippings like you got, look how you came out. You came
Well,
out pretty
I'm
Yeah.
decent.
terrible.
You're not that bad. You got a podcast show. I think everybody here got the podcast show. Or everybody's here doing something positive. But
Yes,
you know why? Because mama and papa or grandma or whoever it was that raised you implemented a couple of those ass whoopings.
quite a few for me.
well,
Yeah.
spoiled, so I try not to spoil my kids like I was.
Oh, you was
Okay.
spoiled.
Okay.
Oh, it was the opposite. Total opposite.
I got
Total.
what I wanted.
So how
So
was you spoiled? I mean, what all did you get? Like everything, no matter
every,
what, every pair of
every,
shoes, clothes, everything.
everything, no matter if I throw a tantrum, I get what I want. So I just try to do it differently and not raise my kids the same way.
Okay, let me ask you something. Since you've been like on that for years, right? Because do you use that same tactic in a relationship?
Like what?
When you said you throw your tantrums and
Oh
stuff and you used to get what you
no,
wanted.
no, I don't.
Okay, just asking.
You can't do that in a relationship now.
Okay, you're right, but there's a couple people that do that. I mean, you see it. That's why we're having these shows and talking now because we probably got friends that do this type of stuff.
Okay. All right. All right. Look here. Hey, I agree with about 8 o'clock to be the final time for no kids to be eating though. Not out there 8 o'clock, about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because right after that they going to bed. And usually you ain't got the kids waking up in the middle of the night talking about I'm hungry and they want XYZ and I want to go in the refrigerator though. All right. We're gonna move on from that topic though. Dr. Shockalou, like I
Yes,
said, I
sir.
had him on a couple of weeks ago. I want to give everybody opinion on this topic that me and Shockalou was talking
All got to take accountability because we got a lot of men out here to be simping. Uh,
about.
but it's two. They was raised by a single mother too, and I've always said this too, not to diss women at all. So before women start throwing jabs or getting hot and whatever, this is not to diss any of y'all, man. I'm just stating some real facts. One thing a man cannot do is make a little girl into a woman. Unless you're doing like that sexual stuff, but we're not even getting into any of that. I'm just saying, talking to her and showing her how to be a woman. Only a woman can
Mhm.
do that. But there's one thing definitely that you cannot do either is turn a boy into a man.
I think that's what we had a little bit like can't find the right word. I don't just want to use any word, but I think that's where we had a little miss up that because a lot of fathers are taking out these households and the single women are raising all these boys and everything like
Yes.
that. So
Yes.
trying to turn them into men, trying to tell them how to be a man where they are women, and I think that's where it's
And
a
they
little
can't,
shifty.
and it's not
Hmm.
to diss them. Like I'm saying, once again, it's not to
Hmm.
diss you ladies because
Not to this
I,
because
I
I
was
was
I
raised
was
by a
raised
single
by a
mom.
single mother. Here
Yes,
we go.
yes, I was
Here we
too.
go. And a lot of things I had to learn the hard way.
Mhm.
It's difficult to say, man. Like I said, I grew up in a foster care, so I didn't grow up with technically different parents. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else did. I didn't grow up with somebody else's parents. So um, she raised me the best she could. You know what I'm saying? As a woman, you know what I'm saying? I was still a man and made mistakes. As a boy, it's just stuff you gotta go to. I think anybody could raise anybody. It's just life. You gotta be able to point them in the right direction as best as to your ability. I know guys out here with that are single dads that have girls and they're doing their best of their ability. I know single mothers out there with same boys and they're doing the best of their ability. You know what I'm saying? So it just pertains on the person that's teaching them. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Respect. Tanya?
Oh wow. Um, that's a good one actually. So I agree with that in the sense that so I grew up with both my mother and my father, but when I was a teenager, I was raised by my father. Like he finished raising me because my mom moved out. But what I can say about that is that, like Kofi said, anybody can raise anybody, but if you have like a strong foundation, um, you can kind of gear the person in the right direction, right? Like they say, like single moms can't raise boys to be men, but you can kind of show them, you know, certain things that you may have learned. Like for me, like my father was like, he's my everything. So there's certain things that I instilled from what I learned from my dad into my son because I was also a single mom. So, I think it all depends. But there's certain things you can't show a boy as a woman because you're a woman. It just don't work that way.
Okay. All right. Rosie?
Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, so I'm raising three boys. So and sometimes my husband has to step in for a majority of it because like the discipline and the potty training sometimes because sometimes he has to step in and tell them, what they should and should not do. And he has to raise his voice. It's kind of a balance because the boys will take take advantage or take over. So he kind of has to step in and be like, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it helps because when he talks, they listen. I don't know what it is about a man's voice, but when he talks, it's like everything changes. So
Okay. Okay. I definitely agree. Shockalou, you have any responses to it?
Um, I mean, you guys already know, like I said before, and I agree with the lady. It takes two, because like I said before, um, I agree a little bit with both of them were saying that anybody could raise somebody. Yeah, you can, but the major things that you need to teach them, you need the other person there to teach them that. Like for instance, when it comes for a woman or a little girl, when she reaches that age when her cycle and everything starts happening and
Hmm.
stuff, can't no man tell her nothing about that. We don't know
Right.
nothing about that. I don't care what any of you guys say. Can none of y'all explain that? Only one that can explain that is a woman. She could talk to that little girl and explain that. Can't no man, because I know none of y'all, us three men that are on here right now, none of y'all ever done that. That's
I
never happened,
mean,
y'all.
you could explain it, right? Because scientifically you could explain it as a person,
I
right?
mean,
But you won't be able
scientifically,
to
yes,
you
but
won't be able to like let them know how they're feeling in their
yeah,
body,
like
right?
you can't
You know what I
explain that.
mean? But you could like break it down like, hey, this is your cycle, this is what happens, but the hormones and stuff, you ain't gonna be
Yeah,
able to
that's
explain
what
that.
I'm saying. Like the emotional part of it,
Right.
the man can't explain that. Just like when it's time for a little boy to start becoming a man. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
me, I'm a man. I have to explain to that little boy what it is when your little wiener gets hard and all this
Right.
other things that happen to you. And when you start
Oh my
having sex, those feelings, because like I
Yeah.
said, you cannot explain that. You can't explain that feeling that I have when that time comes. Just like I can't explain the feeling you have when that time comes for you.
Right.
So like we can do all these little stuff, but when it comes down to breaking it down, no. You need to have that man there to explain to that little boy what it is to be a man, and you need that woman there to explain to that little girl what it is to be a woman. Because a man ain't gonna sit there and teach the little girl all like the feminine features and the femininity that women have to be. If you really want a good man, just like when it's when the man has to teach the boy, just because you have hair on your chest doesn't make you a man, son. Like you have to learn how to be like this. You have to know how to treat a woman,
God.
and you have to learn how to get respect so you can respect other people. But like I said before, and I mean everybody can agree to disagree.
Right.
But if not, we can go look at the statistics because that's what we do on our show. Before we sit there and run our mouths about anything, we don't run by emotions. We run by logic. We will pull out statistics, numbers, and prove it to anybody who ever tries to go against us on our show. So, like I've always said before, you can go with the emotions, but when we think with logic and we break out the numbers, It is what it is.
Hey, everybody, I dig it. I dig it. And everybody, got different point of views. And I was telling my woman, my fiance, like I would want to be there. I would want to be present because my father wasn't in my life when I was growing up, so I can teach him things on how to be a man. It was certain things that my mom didn't teach me. Like in the video clip, I was raised by a single mother, and she taught me, the things that basically that I needed to know. But far as manly things and reaching puberty and stuff like that and all that, my brother kind of like taught me that, and he was my older brother, and that was the only thing because I really didn't have. I had some father figures and a stepfather when I was little, but other than that, as it getting older though, like I feel like a man job, you know, is to be because the men get taken us in so many scenarios. Like Tanya said, she was raised with her mom and dad, and so many people don't, have that opportunity and privilege to, be in a household with both of their mom and dad, and some dads, not there because of XYZ. Is so many reasons though, but I think it's imperative for a father to be in a boy's life and a child's
Definitely.
life in general.
Right.
Definitely.
And some moms too, because some moms are not present either.
Yeah,
Both of them need to be
We
there.
yeah,
yeah,
we always talk
definitely.
about the dads not being present, but there's a lot of moms that are also not present in their children's lives either.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something we definitely
yeah,
need to talk about. I appreciate you even putting that out there, man,
Yeah.
because all you usually hear is about the man, the man, the man, the man, but you don't
Yep.
ever hear about the woman.
Right.
Hmm.
And like
and why
on
is
my
that?
show, we get hit a little bit,
Mhm.
that we're like bashing, but we don't bash. We just tell facts and the truth and things that like happen, things that I've seen through my experience of life, my partner, other females that are friends of mine, everything. So it's not like we're sitting here trying to say all the negativity, but we're definitely trying to let people know what really happens. Like
Right.
it's not all fairy tales, man. Like stop thinking things are
Definitely
fairy
not.
tales. Like you got to know the reality of what you're getting yourself into, what's happening. Is this person even worth spending the time with? Like you got to put all that into perspective. Like just stop thinking off of emotions, going quick and doing something. Oh, now we have a baby. Now we messed up and had a child, but let's keep it a buck now. Now we don't even have nothing in common. So how are we actually going to raise this child and do what we need to do when we don't even really like each other?
And that's kind of what happens too. Like,
It happens to a
a
lot of
lot
them.
of people, especially like us black and browns,
It happens to a lot of them.
we have children with people that, we end up not being with. And the only people that suffer are the children
Other
because,
children.
then you being raised without a mom or you being raised without a dad. So it's a sticky situation, that one right there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's another thing too that we all need to do is take accountability. We all know we see a lot of red flags half the time when we do mess with these people.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, them red
But
flags.
yeah.
then we all
They
try to
be
be, oh
there.
no, she's good for me. Or and the man, oh no, I love her. I love her. And she can't even do this, cook, clean, anything, or the man can't even hold a job. And now you want to get mad. Well, you knew what he was. You know what you got
Mhm.
into. Now you want to yell
Yeah.
at him and then, no, mommy, you saw those red
Mhm.
flags. You got into the mix. Now deal with it. Same thing for the man
Mhm.
though, because what's good for the geese is good for the gander. If you knew she was
Agreed.
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, then you shouldn't have had no babies with her.
Tanya, you said one thing that is not talked about a lot. Also, women not being in the household. Why you think is that?
Um, so I think like when it comes to women, and I mean, I don't know, but there are a lot of things like sometimes women they leave their relationships. It could be domestic violence, it could be, a lot of certain things that are affecting their relationship, and sometimes they just leave the kids. They leave the kids sometimes, you have addicts and I feel like for women it's like on another different level. Like it's easier for a man, in my opinion, to just leave a woman with children. It's a
Hmm.
little harder for a woman to leave their kids, but there are certain things that will probably cause a mom to leave her kids. Sometimes like, and I think domestic violence is a big one.
Yeah.
Because when you get into a relationship and you're in a domestic violence relationship, you're only thinking about your safety, unfortunately. And sometimes you get into those custody battles and things get really ugly. I've seen it, um, like personally. So the mom is just not present because she can't be. Sometimes not because she
Yeah.
won't, she doesn't want to, but she just can't.
Yeah, yeah, I dig that. I dig that, and I understand that. But I would just, because you don't really hear, and if that and if that's the case, and in that situation, it's more so like you said, domestic violence or so. But it's also more you hear more about the dads more so not being there than with the moms. Okay, we're gonna move on, you guys. Here on the podcast, I got a question for my ladies here, Tanya and Mama Life. Yes, Tanya and Mama Life. Okay, all right. Mommy brain though. Can you tell me about mommy brain though? My fiance just obviously just had a newborn baby, and she's still going through some things right now where she may be forgetting, or she feel like, oh, I needed to do this, or I forgot about this, or I was gonna call you back, but yeah, mommy, a pregnant brain. What I probably am saying it all wrong. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Uh,
we get it. It's true. It's true. I'm still going through it. Like sometimes I forget where I put my phone. Like some people, some for real. Some people don't think like it's a real thing, but it's like 100% real because we do forget things, and that happened when I had my baby. Like I seriously forgot everything. Like I forget where I put my phone. I forget where I put my keys. I forget what I went to the kitchen for. It's not that I'm getting old. It's like it's seriously mommy brain. So yes, it's like it's true.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like I had a little bout of that after my daughter was born, but I think for me it was just because it's so many things that you have to kind of keep tabs on, especially when you have a newborn, right?
Mhm.
You have a newborn baby and it's like, okay, you can't forget about diapers, you can't forget about wipes, you can't forget about extra clothes, you can't forget about milk, you can't forget about, if the baby gets sick. So it's like, it's so many things, like your brain is on overload. So, it is a real thing. But for me, I try to keep everything a little structured so that it doesn't happen to me because I can be a little forgetful. But that's why I be like writing stuff down. I put stuff in my phone. Like, I try to keep myself as organized as possible. It's not always possible.
Yeah.
okay, with
You try
some
your best.
okay, with some ways that a dad such as myself, or a new dad in that ways that can help his fiance or his woman, and with mommy brain and helping not forget stuff and stuff.
So I think like anticipating the need, right? So especially when you are about to leave the house. So leaving the house with a newborn baby, it for some people it sparks a little bit of anxiety, right?
Mhm.
Because you have to remember everything. You got to have extra everything. So I
Mm.
think that in a way that you can help as a dad is kind of just like check over stuff. Like make sure the bag is packed, make sure you have
Yeah.
extra diapers, make sure you have extra wipes, make sure you have that, together so that she won't forget at least that portion of you know that.
Okay. Okay, I got you. I got you though. Okay, one last thing, question I have for you guys though. When my fiance get into this little funk where it's like someone give her something, and maybe let's say for example, just a story where my fiance's sister gave her some stuff for our son, and he was straight. He had everything, but she also gave her some extra money to do what she wanted to do. But she felt like she had like mommy guilt to not, feeling like she wasn't supposed to be buying this stuff or doing stuff for her. It's supposed to just all be for him, and not remembering to just do stuff for yourself.
Oh my God, like mommy guilt happens like all the time. Like I had some mommy guilt when it was like my first time trying to go on a date with my husband after having a baby. Like I had mommy guilt about actually leaving the baby home. So yeah, that happens, but she really has to bypass that and try to do stuff for herself. Self care is so important, especially if you have kids, especially if you have a baby, because if not, you will drive yourself crazy.
Very true. You can't really ask me about mommy guilt because I don't have it that much. Because I'll be like, man, listen, in order to meet for me to keep my sanity, we about to leave your little ass somewhere, and I need a break, you know. And usually for me, she's with her dad, so I'm like, I'm out of here. So I really don't experience that often.
Okay, okay, cool.
Not even with my first child. My son is 18 and my daughter's 3. So I'll be like, nah, she will soon get over it. Trust.
Okay, yeah, that's what I be telling them, man. Like, do stuff for yourself and enjoy,
Yes.
because she always just
Yes.
wanna don't wanna feel like, oh, this money is for him for to get his outfit, but it's like, babe, like you just got the outfit with some money with some other stuff, and no, I don't want to go get money. So I was like, oh, okay, but look here, it's like, I'm doing the best I can be is supporting
Be
you.
supportive. That's all.
Yeah,
Just
that's
let her know. Be like, go get your nails done. Go get your hair done. Because moms, we have the habit of letting ourselves go a bit when we have kids, especially
that.
in the beginning. But we don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So just be supportive.
Okay. Okay. I gotcha. Gotcha. All right. We're gonna move back on here, guys, here on the podcast. I'm gonna bring the dads back on. Shockalou,
Yes, sir.
Kofi Weedston, man. How dad life, treating you guys though? I know Shockalou said he's a stepdad, but the father figure to someone though. But I'm gonna start with my man Kofi Weedston, man. How dad life been treating you? Any difficulties or any advice that you have for new dads? Go
That life is
soon to be
pretty
dad.
cool for me, man. It's pretty chill for me. You know, I got 3 girls, but one is really older. She's 18, and I got a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old. So my 10 and my 5-year-old, they're with me 24/7. Don't do nothing without me. They don't eat, breathe, sleep without me. So it's pretty cool, pretty chill. I don't yell too much. I gotta look at what I do. I don't really have to complain too much. You know, I don't really. The most I do is have to clean up after them. That's it. You know, because I'm one of those. I let them do what they want. They pretty much spoil you. So, but for the most part, it's cool. I don't complain about anything. It's chill. It's chill. It's all chill with me. I don't have too much problems. Not even with the baby mom's drama. I didn't have that. Pretty chill.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Lucky man. Shockalou.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't really have too much problems either. It's pretty much simple, man. All I ask, at least from the kids, just clean your room, man. Clean your room and go to school. You're pretty much allowed to do whatever you want. Just do it respectful, and don't make a mess. And before I continue, this is my partner, the other side of the Chocolate Dreams podcast, my boy Big G,
Hey,
Supreme Rex.
what's going on?
He wasn't with us
Welcome.
in the
What's
last
going on,
show,
bro?
but I brought him in today, so just wanted to give him a shout out and let everybody know who he is. But yeah, man, I don't really have too much problems, man. I try to keep it simple. Just I don't really clean up after nobody. I prefer them to clean after themselves because I figure you need to teach them at a young age, so that way as they get older, they already get used to doing that. And to me, it's just going to benefit them in the future. Because, for instance, if you're a woman and you're like a person that likes to have your house clean all the time, and the boyfriend that you start to date or hang out with or whatever, if he comes around or you go to his house and he's kind of sloppy, you're gonna like show him, like, hey, you have to be like this if you want to be with me, or you need to start, doing this, or vice versa for a man. Like, if you're a man that knows how to clean his own house, wash his own dishes, take care of his own stuff, then of course, if you have some woman come into your life, she has to be able to do the same thing you do. Because why would you want someone in it to destroy everything you got? Or even if y'all building together now, still, I mean, you have to work together. But if you're a person that's like very clean, you don't want someone that doesn't know how to clean.
Yeah.
So I figure you start teaching them from a young age, so they don't be little dirty foots as they get older.
Yeah, man, I'm not having as much as those problems right now. I got a 4 month old, and he's teething and trying to walk all over the place right now. But I know a lot of dads out there, you know, at this time, want to be in their kid's life, man, for real, and you need to be. It's another topic. It's another topic that I'm gonna roll on to. That's for my dads, though, and a lot of
Yeah.
dads that's not in the household, and it's not too many, guys that you will run across for them to be the full-time dad and them taking care of that. How was that for you?
Yeah.
Being a full-time dad
I mean, it
by
was its
yourself.
own challenge. Yeah, it was definitely its own challenge, and I have nothing but respect for any single parent that's out there. Because I'll tell you right now,
Mm,
people have this weird thing, man. And like I said, I'm not trying to hate on nobody. I'm not trying to talk about anybody. There's
mhm.
certain parents out there who really try to take credit for being a single parent, and they're kind of a single parent because they choose to be, and that's just dead ass.
Ooh,
This
okay.
is the problem when you can't make things work for your for the benefit of the greater source or whatever, like this being the child. You have to be able to work shit out, not the way you want it to be, but the way it needs to be. You're not hurting anybody but the kids at the end of the day. You're trying to hurt each
Yeah.
other, but you hurting the kids who are growing up and they fucking 12 years old and they got a lot of different issues because their parents could never just come together on some, parental shit and deal with their situation.
All right, all right, all
Feel
right.
that.
Uh, we want to go first.
Rex, go ahead, take
I,
care of them. I
yeah, go
know you
ahead.
got.
I agree everything that man said. So go ahead, y'all take it away.
I mean, look, I'm not a dad, you know what I'm saying? But my brothers are single fathers, right? Both of my brothers, they single dads, and I see what they go through. And the problem usually comes with the baby mother. They want things that their way. And my brothers as fathers, they just trying to do things for the benefit of the child. You know what I mean? You know, the schools that they go to, the kids they hang out with, all these things, and the beef I see them going through with the mothers, they usually just like they want to do whatever they can afford or whatever fits into their schedule. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying all baby moms are like that, but I do see these examples live in person of where parents are not, being for the child just for their own selfish reasons. So I definitely agree with what that brother had to say. You know,
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. I'm 100% with that, man. Like once again, how I say with the logic, it takes the both of y'all to make this work. And like how the brother was saying, a lot of single parents, especially single mothers, are like really proud of doing that. And they'll be like, oh no, as soon as they find out they're pregnant, they don't even worry about the man. They're just like, oh, I'll raise the child by myself and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But if you look at, once again, the statistics,
I don't think it's fine.
I'm not saying that it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we talked about this. But I don't remember the exact numbers, but remember we pulled out the statistics on that.
Yeah.
What were the numbers on it, if you remember?
Yeah, it was like 80% of kids that are no, it was like around 70% of kids that are raised by just a single mom, the kids end up in jail. The boys end up in jail and the daughters end up like some kind of stripper or something.
OnlyFans doing all sorts of stuff. Look it up. Look it
Yeah.
up.
We did a podcast on that a couple months back. We were looking up some statistics. Somebody did an article on it and did a study, and based off that study, we were getting these numbers from. But basically, it was mainly showing that when these kids are coming from single parent homes, they're not being raised the right way. So for somebody to have the mindset like, yo, I'm gonna raise this kid on my own, nah, you ain't supposed to do that. You need the mom's side and you need the dad's side. A woman can't raise a man child to be a man. You can keep feeding him. He's gonna grow and look like a man, but his mentality ain't gonna be like a man. And that's the
Mhm.
problem with a lot of young men now. They have this feminine attitude.
I was just about to say that.
They lack a lot of responsibility because the moms coddle them a lot. You know what I'm saying? and they're too sensitive. They don't know when like to cut their emotions off. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys have witnessed this yourselves. You know what I'm saying?
And you also got to deal with the mind state of the man and of the woman. You got to look at how they were raised. Because let's say, for instance, again, let's go to a single mother. Let's say she was raised again by another single mother. Pretty much, I guarantee what that mom was telling her was like, oh, you don't need no man. You can do this by yourself. Da 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 da. Blah blah blah. So you teach her to be the strong, independent woman, but then you don't have no way to get the man that you desire. Because now all you know how to be is put your shield up and be mean and be masculine and all that. And don't know man with that.
There's usually like a resentment towards men for those type of women raised that way. You know?
Okay, but what about with me and just like me and Shockalou, we was talking about like me and you both been way about it.
Google LLC is an American multinational technology company focusing on search engine technology.
Where's that come from?
My Google.
Oh, I'm like looking at my phone.
Like,
I'm like, wait, that's not me.
What was the question again? Come again.
I'm not editing that out neither. Okay. All right. Dr. Shockalou, like I was saying, what about, some certain guys who, such as like myself, you who've been raised by a single mother, though, what about, what would you say on that such, though, because some guys don't, have that feminine, side, or maybe have too much emotional, though, but, like I was raised, by a single mom.
Yeah,
I was too. Like we talked about it in the podcast show. But I would say we're like an anomaly, and to be honest with you, anomalies don't count when we're talking statistics. We're talking about the mass numbers here. Some of us, might come out to be okay. Like I would say yourself and I did, but majority of us did not come out straight. I mean, if it was, why are so many of us incarcerated? And I'm not trying to blame, like we've said this before, I'm not trying to blame the woman. I'm not, because it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. It might seem like right now all I'm doing is jabbing and jabbing at the lady, but I'm not. Because before, like right after I get done with this, I will get on the man too. But we have to take accountability for the mistakes and the things that we do. So with that being said, you know what you're getting yourself into. So just think, man. Think about it. Think very hard and don't make all these mistakes, man. Because we're old enough now. I mean, when we're younger, I guess it's a different, but now that we're older, like, no, come on now. You know what time it is. And you can see it. You can see it how we've grown up. You saw how me and you were young men grew up with no father. Most of us, well, at least myself, I had to figure out a gang of stuff by myself.
Yeah, man.
A gang of stuff. So for all you single women and this and that, no, look. Majority of y'all not going to teach your son how to do this application, how to go get a job, how to go find this, how to deal with other men when they're trying to sit there and make you do other stuff that you're not sure to do. Because at that time and age, like when you're in your teens, you're kind of confused at that time. Some guy can sit there and talk to you, and just because you feel like at that time of moment it's cool and everything. Now you're out there selling drugs. Now you out there and did a ride, and y'all went and robbed somebody, and now for you making that little mistake because no one was there to teach you to look for these type of things, which usually it's a man that's going to teach you that stuff. Like, hey man, you got to watch out for guys like that. He's slick. No, if they ain't teaching none of that, now what? Now you're gone and incarcerated for a minute, and if somebody would have been there to teach you some of this stuff, and I'm not saying it's all the man, because a woman can teach you some of this stuff too, but most of the street stuff you're gonna learn from a man.
I mean, look, I was raised by a single mother. I love my mom to death. I think she did the best she could for what she could do. But that lack of the man being around thing, it affected my life and my adulthood big time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even realize that I wasn't even acting like a man at some times. I was a little too emotional over things. And I was making decisions that like I witnessed my mom making growing up. And these decisions led us broken, and messy situations. You know what I'm saying? I actually had to learn from other men in my adult years, like, oh snap, this is part of being a man. You know what I'm saying? So it's not to the woman, but both parts need to be there. Because I've had friends that just raised by a father, and now they're too hardcore. They ain't got no heart. You know what I'm saying? So you need both.
I could speak on that a little bit because my first time around, my son, like I said, my son was 18, but I was raised in Brooklyn, East New York, and I raised him as a single mom. But listen, I got them hands, and there's certain things like, I didn't grow up in the street, but I was out there and I was able to peep certain things and be able to let him know, like, hey, this is what this is. This is what this is. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't a thug, but I don't take no wooden nickels either. And thank goodness, like my son is 18. He's away at college. He's doing his thing. I can't complain. I feel like I've given him the foundation to do what he got to do. And now he got to make his own decisions.
No, that's good. And congrats to you, man. Like, I mean, it's hard.
It
I know
was
it was hard for you.
As a
I know it was
motherfucker.
hard. But once again, you're just an anomaly out of it.
Yeah.
You probably got like 10 other homegirls that you grew up with that'll probably live in the same story you did too right now.
Yeah.
How many of them and their son did what your son did? See what I mean?
Like, like two of them.
Okay, but you see what I'm getting
I get
at?
what you're saying. Yeah,
That's why when
for
you
sure.
always try to get the emotional in there.
Right.
No, let's take out the emotions.
Right.
We're not talking about our personal stories here.
Right.
But what you just said right there, no, it was good to put out there because it can't happen. But when we talk, or at least in our show, like I said once again, we talk about the majority mass. And when we pull out the numbers, it is what it is. Yeah. But once again, man, kudos to you for doing it.
Well, something you got to think about too. He's 18 now. He's about to figure out. He's
a whole different kind of. Yep. A whole different kind of life.
He's gonna figure out, like, man, I wish there was a man that taught me this part.
Right.
Because you can't teach a man how to be a man. But yeah, you did the best you could, just like my mom did. Like I said, there's no diss to my mom. But in my adult years, I learned a lot of stuff. I'm like, damn, if a man was there, this would have never happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish that because I have both of my brothers are going through an issue where the baby moms actually try to keep them out the kid's life. Now, after so much court battles,
you hear a lot of that.
You hear about it a lot, right? Now, after so many court battles, now they're actually able to be there for their kids. You know what I'm saying? But they shouldn't have had to do that.
Right.
And the mom was just thinking the bitterness, because my brothers were they're players. They were breaking hearts. I ain't gonna front. But once that kid is out, they were just trying to be dads, and they didn't want that.
Right.
And they're not thinking about the benefit of what the child needs. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I really want to touch on.
I got one question real quick before we continue. I just want to ask Miss Lady here that has the 18-year-old son. Now, with all the stuff that you taught your son and everything, and all the stuff that you see, do you think that there's a good woman out there for your son?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I just feel like times have really changed. And one thing I have told my son is that I would like him to not settle down. I would like him to date. Because when you date, you get to figure out what you like and what you don't like, right? If you end up with one person your whole life, you don't know shit, right? Because you just know that one person. You don't know the different varieties. So my thing to him is like, hey, date, figure out what you want, right? Because at 18, when you're 25, it's not the same thing that you like at 18. When you're 35, it's not going to be the same thing that you like at 25. So you got to figure it out. You know what I mean? And that's the gem about dating and not settling down early.
Man, I got so many questions to ask, but I can't. This is not my show because you got me. I gotta let my man 1130 handle business. Dog. This is you, dog. You got me right there. There's some stuff I want to ask, but I definitely would love all of y'all to be on our show. I would love for all of y'all to come on our show.
Got you. Hey, that's what's up, man. Having fun here. Expressing, thoughts and feelings, man, here on the podcast. Mama Life, you have anything? I see you quiet a little bit. You have anything you want to say?
My kids are like screaming in the background, just praying that they don't come in here.
How old are your children?
They're 7, 3, and 4.
7, 3, and 4. And what do you have, boys and girls, or
No, all boys.
Yeah, all
all boys?
boys.
Okay,
Yeah.
same question for you then. I mean, 11:30. You mind if I can ask that
No,
question?
sure,
Okay,
good.
then what? Sorry about that. But what do you think about that, Miss? Since you're raising boys too, you see what's going on every day. Because I know you probably have a TikTok or Instagram and all that. You see the twerkers, you see the OnlyFans, you see all this stuff, and
Yeah.
you as well. Was it Kofi? You got daughters too, don't you? This is the stuff now. So how do you think? Is there any woman like? Are there anybody getting raised properly for your men? And are you gonna raise your women or your little girls to be how women should be for a man?
Well, for me, I usually I'm not saying I raised them old school because I kind of grew up down south for a little while, so I want everybody to be like my grandmother. So I just raise them as close to my grandmother as possible. I don't want them to grow up too fast. I let them still be kids. They don't do TikTok. They don't do Facebook, Instagram, none of that. Let them be kids. Play their dolls, whatever. For the most part, I try to raise them to type of female I would like to date. I would be like, hey, you're great for anybody to date. You're respectful. I don't know how to even put that, but I just try to raise them as respectful as possible. And don't let nobody disrespect them. Don't let nobody walk over. That's best as I can do as a man because like they have their mother here teaches them the other side. So
Okay.
Okay, well, for my boys, I want to teach them, to respect women and stuff. And I want to also teach them to do stuff by themselves. Like you said, like they have to learn how to cook, they have to clean. So when a woman comes in the picture, they don't need them to do anything but, to add on to the equation. Like, I don't want them to beg a woman to clean for them if you could clean by yourself. And I also don't want them to be taken advantage of. So if they ever find a girl, like she has to be respectful and she has to, learn that balance because most girls, they want to, they hate that they want to take over and they want to not listen and not that they have to listen, but they have to be respectful. Like,
To be submissive? Is that what you're?
Yeah. They're not
Is that what you're
traditional.
looking for? The traditions?
They're not traditional.
don't say I ain't gotta do this, I ain't gotta do that. You have to find that balance.
That's a good topic.
Yeah.
Because usually what I ask, like the guys, I say, the guys that have daughters, would you want your daughter to date a man like you?
I would say
Right?
yeah.
I would say yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I,
Like me.
I, I think
Yeah.
I think for me,
I'm not.
I'm a really good guy. I'm honest. There's nothing I could cook, I could clean, I do everything. I taught myself how to do everything.
That's what's up.
So for me, I would say yeah. I raised my daughters like gentlemen, like a gentleman. I mean, like everybody knows. You see me, you see them 24/7. So I do my best as possible.
That's what's
Show
up.
them I'm not a perfect man, but to show them like they are good guys.
No, nobody's perfect in this world, dog. Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect. We just can do the best we can.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
that's what's really teaching them anyway,
Yeah.
by the way you treat them.
Right.
My mom was sweet and nice to me. I saw women as nice and sweet,
Yeah.
to this day. I see them as
Yeah.
wonderful creatures because of how my mom is to me. You know what I mean? So,
That's the exact same thing that that I would say. If I had a daughter, I would, want to date a guy like me. Be independent, respectful. My mother, she was a hardworking woman, but she also taught me, things that she could teach me. But definitely, a hardworking guy, a teddy bear, and just loving and just being a caring guy. So definitely. We're gonna move on. You guys were talking about a little bit of since we all got kids, though. We all know respect, and respect is a big thing. Within kids and just with in general, though. I gotta ask you guys opinions. Some of you guys may have seen this video. I want to give you thoughts and reactions from you.
He talks ugly to me and my husband. Um, he just the other day called him because I wouldn't do something. Called me and my husband a bastard.
He called you and your husband a bastard.
A bastard. He
wow.
throw temper tantrums and throw things, break things when he get upset and mad because things don't go his way. This one of them.
Oh my God.
The other one's in
Look at that.
In his room.
So he's breaking windows and they're just destroying the house.
Yeah, we've had replaced one window and someone went through it again. He's taking my cigarette lighter, going outside, smoking. We keep asking.
Wait a minute, what did you just say?
Taking my cigarette lighter.
Be quiet! Don't open your mouth until you're asked a question. Do you understand? Yes, sir. What else?
He be mean to his brother. Pinch him sometimes. He's disabled.
He's disabled.
Yeah, he's ashamed of his brother. Why? I don't know.
He's ashamed of his disabled brother, and he bullies and pinches his brother. Is that what you're telling me?
He does.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So you think you run this house or something?
No.
You think you tough?
No.
Huh?
No.
So then why would you bully this woman? Why would you break the window? Why are you sitting around here beating up on your disabled sibling? Why would you do that?
No, he will hit me too. I'm sorry.
Oh, he hits you too?
See it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, well, he slapped my glass. My glasses hit this, and it was bruised.
That mark on your face is from him, ma'am?
Yeah.
You slapped your mother. You slapped your mother. How would you like it if somebody slapped you? You're gonna slap your damn mother? Have you lost your mind? You think you tough? Slap me. Watch what I do to you. Slap me, I dare you.
Oh man, bro.
That's why dads need to be there.
Oh man.
Okay, who want to go?
Wait, I just want to be honest. I just want to say something first.
Okay, go. Okay,
I'm actually, like, I was a bad kid. I was terrible. They sent me to what's it called? Street, the jail when the kids go to the jail.
Scared straight.
Scared straight. I went to Scared Straight and all that before it was Scared Straight and all that. Then I wound up going to the Army, so I know everything. I think everything that dude is saying was right, fucking correct. Everything he did was correct, because sometimes there's little motherfuckers out there who just don't understand it.
Right.
And I'm sorry to even say that, but I was one of those little motherfuckers.
Young boy too, so he needs a man
and it
put
took
that
me.
man voice on him.
Yeah, it took for somebody to get in my face like that for me to grow up. So I understand everything that dude is saying. I ain't mad at it.
There's so much to dissect there, though. It's like it was hard to watch for me because he's 10, right?
Yes.
So it's so much. Like, we could talk about this like all day for me, because I feel like, the first thing is like, why is this happening? Like, why is this 10-year-old child behaving that way, right? You kind of got to peel back the layers. Like, what's going on at home? What's going on at school? It's just so many things. He shouldn't be doing that, but children act out for certain reasons.
Where's the mother and father?
And
the mom is there, right?
The mother is there.
That was clearly the grandmother.
Right? But that can't only be the reason. Was that the grandmother?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
She was way too old to be the mother.
Right. Maybe the grandmother. So where's the mother and the father? Like, it's so much to dissect there. But no, he needs more than an ass whooping.
He needs a male mentor there. He needs somebody there.
It just
right.
That's what
the prime example of what we've always talked about.
This is where,
because at the end of the day, when had you seen the kid sat there and hit the grandmother? Normally now, a 12-year-old kid can pretty much whip a average woman up.
Yeah, pretty much these days.
He can beat her ass, whether y'all want to believe it or not. A 12-year-old little boy can pretty much beat his mother up. So if you don't start whipping them, and I'm not saying beating them to a pulp or nothing, but give them some discipline and show them something, by the time that kid gets to 12, 13 years old, he's going to come up to you and not even call you probably by your name. I mean, probably not even call you mom. We'll probably start calling you by your name. Beatrice, give me the keys. You're gonna be like, what? What did you say to me? You heard me, Beatrice. Give me the keys right now before I whip your ass. And what you gonna do?
It has to be some kind of structure.
Run over you. This is my kid run over you. Like this didn't mean my mom raised me by herself, and I still wouldn't dare to do anything. I wouldn't even talk back. You crazy? My mom's a Jamaican woman. You know what I'm saying? And the way she was raised, she don't play that. So I was raised that she don't play that. So it's really either parent can really control this, but they just got to do it from
scratch, from the jump off.
From very little.
My mother's like 4'11". I never talked back to my mother till I was like 23 or 24 years old. I never said anything crazy to that woman till then.
Like for me, I was foster kid, so I was placed with somebody. Then when I got with somebody, they was from North Carolina. It was a down south lady, old school lady, and she ain't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? And if I did something, by the time I got home, I would have like 8 ass whippings.
Yeah.
I believe you need to do that, man.
I grew up
You know what I'm saying? So I would get disciplined 6-7 times before I even get to my grandmother. Then when I get to my grandmother, I would get disciplined. Then don't let my uncles come over. Then they would discipline. So,
And it's not, like I said before, it's not about beating them and nothing like that. But there's 2 things you must show these kids. You give them that unconditional love, but you also got to let them know you are the right hand of Jesus. Like how they used to tell us, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. Well, you need to do that same shit they used to tell us to them. I brought you in this world, I will take you out.
I did a little bit of that with
gotta go, everybody. Appreciate everybody here.
Have a good night.
All right, Kofi. Appreciate you, my God. Thank you.
Man, I'm gonna hit everybody up so we can get on everybody's shows.
Oh yeah, definitely, brother.
I work overnight and I gotta get the girls ready. So
all right.
I appreciate everybody.
Have a good night.
Bless.
No
Thank you, Kofi.
No problem.
I did a little bit of that with my son. Like I didn't have to hit my son a lot growing up, but I was very stern. I was very stern. I was very consistent, and I was strict when I needed to be.
That's all you gotta do. That's
flexible when I needed to be. I was not flexible. One thing I was never flexible about was school. School was not. That was a non-negotiable. And then as he got older, you know what I mean? I started like letting go the reins a little bit, going out, being with friends, but he know till this day, if I got to throw my hands up, let's go. I'm with it. He's very aware.
No, but see, he still has that respect for you.
Facts.
Because you implemented that into him from a young age.
Yeah.
To now,
very young.
You can, the man will be 30 years old. You give him that look that he can go, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was going to say,
let me tighten up.
I'm in my 40s. My mom, there's no way in hell I trust my mom right now.
That's exactly what I was going to say. My mother got that look, and once she give you that look, that is it though. And these videos, the videos that I just showed you from the prison doctor, majority of his videos that I see is little boys that don't have the mom in the house, or the mom, or mom or grandmother is usually, most of the videos is just him and a woman, sitting down,
and it's
like
an older
what's
woman.
going on. And we all know what a difference a guy would make in a relationship, or just a father in the household. Because if you had the father in the household and just, hey, sit down, hey, you ain't look at it, like once he say sit down,
you gonna
down,
you
gonna sit down. But just how Tania was saying, my mother was like that. She give me that one look. That's it. I ain't asking no more. I ain't going back. That's a wrap right there. All right. We're gonna move on, you guys. Here on the podcast. Last topic, you guys. Real touchy topic though, but we're gonna dive into it though. We grown folks though, right? Just want to verify. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Going around in the country, because I was having this conversation with my sister-in-law, and she's gay. Don't have no problem with anybody. Just want to say that off bucks, because the 11:30 podcast ain't trying to get canceled. Okay. Okay. I gotta go around. Whoever want to go first, should kids be taught LBGTQ in schools right now? Dr. We're gonna go with Dr. Shockalou.
Yes. Okay. Let me go first, and then my dog Rex can go right up after me, dog. First and foremost, I want to do the same thing like 11:30 just said. We are cool with all that. I don't have no problem with the ABC 1, 2, 3s and all that. One of my closest friends, he's gay too. So, and I got family members that are gay too. So I like, once again, I have no problem with y'all. But we should not be teaching that shit in school. We should not. Let them kids be kids. Let them enjoy what it is to be young and to run around and not know nothing yet. Let them enjoy their innocence. Because when we were kids, did we think about that? When we was in first and third, well, through first through sixth grade, I know we thought about sex and stuff like that, but did we think about any of that other stuff like that?
No.
I didn't. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was the bad little boy. I did some things, but I wouldn't think about none of this. Oh, my boy or my girl. No, like I knew what I was because they let me know quick. Hey, you play with Transformers and GI Joes and He-Mans. She's playing with what they had back in the day. My Little Pony and Cabbage Patch and stuff like that. So like off rip, we knew what it was. And if you got caught with any of that stuff, you would get your ass whooped. And I just really think that stuff in school should not be taught. Let them kids learn their innocence and enjoy life while they're kids. And then as they get older, then implement that stuff. But shouldn't no fucking first grader be thinking about, going into the girl's bathroom because now he thinks he's a little girl, knowing damn well he a boy. No, that's crazy. Don't push that there. And before I give it to Rex, this is one thing that gets me about it, that I even talked about this on the show the other day, that it's sad now because us men, we are masculine men, we never in our lives had to defend who we are. But now we got all this stuff coming at us and this and all this other crap with this LGBTQ stuff. We have to defend who we are. And it's sad because if it wasn't for men like us, this world wouldn't even be built how it is today. If it wasn't for great men sitting here, not saying that it was cool, but to go to war and to invent things and to do all this other stuff, we would not be to where we're at now. So why would you want to take out all this masculinity and implement all this stuff here and expect the world to be peaches and cream when you can't even invent or know how to do anything? Rex, I'll give it to you.
All right. So, I mean, I feel that who are you to tell me what you can teach my kid? I don't want you forcing no way of life on my kid. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a homosexual, that's your problem. And I do have a problem with it. I do. I think this whole saying I don't have a problem with the thing is allowing the problem to grow stronger. Men are not men anymore. There's going to be a time where men ain't going to know how to deal with any tools at all. These men don't know how to change tires. They can't fix a door handle. They can't buy a chair and assemble it together with a screwdriver. You know, and then let's talk about what was going on with the ladies. They don't want to be feminine no more. They're extra masculine. This is lie being taught through movies and cartoons and TV and social media that a woman can fight men and do exactly what a man can do. There needs to be a difference. It needs to be separated. That LGBTQ community is teaching that everybody is the same. And if you're a man, you don't really have to be a man. You can claim whatever sex you want to be. You want to put on a dress, you a boy, go ahead and put a dress on. You a girl, you want to be a man, go ahead and put some pants on and, you know, act all masculine and stuff. That's not how this world's supposed to be. The world got developed by men knowing their role and women knowing their role. So I ain't cool with it. I'm not cool with it at all. Now, if you want to be a homosexual, you know, that's your business. Why do I have to know about it? Why do I have to know what your sexual orientation is? You know, that's none of my business. And when we're adults, I'm gonna go my way. I might be a player. I might have 5 chicks on the side. You know what I'm saying? You might be a church boy and you want to be married to the one woman. Nobody wants to be forced to live a way that the other person is living. It's really nobody's business. As long as I'm in my world doing what I do, you're happy, I'm happy. If you're in your world doing what you do, you're happy, I'm happy. Why does this political doctrine got to be spread that I have to call you whatever crazy madness you started naming yourself? There's like 66 genders. We did a show about this one time.
Yeah.
Supposedly there's 66 genders now, and I have to call you by these genders or something's wrong with me? I don't think so. I think this is a problem. There's only two genders. It's men and then there's women.
Okay. We're going to go to the ladies real fast. Ladies, you have some thoughts on this? Whoever want to go first, Mama Life or Tanya?
Okay,
Yeah, Rose.
That's kind of. I'll go. Well, I would say, I don't know. Kids have a hard time enough like understanding stuff, so it's like it's a complicated topic, especially for a kid to understand and wrap their brains around. Like they don't know like what half of those stuff means. So what's the point of trying to implement it and teaching it to them? I don't see a point. So my answer is no.
Okay.
So this for me is it's a little bit touch and go here. So when you say like teaching LGBTQ in schools, like you're talking about non-binary and that kind of stuff. So my opinion on it is that everybody is human, and what I'm teaching my daughter is to be respectful to everyone, no matter if they're girl, boy, yellow, green. So anytime these things come up, like she's only 3, but I do like to explain to her like, hey, you are a girl, daddy's a boy, and we try to keep it that way, but I am teaching her to like be inclusive and to just respect people and respect how they want to be addressed. And when it gets to that point, as she gets older, this is something that I'm going to handle the way I see fit. As far as it like being in the schools, I mean, that's like, I don't know how I really feel about it. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like it's right or wrong. But I don't know. I'm like up in the air about it.
Okay.
There's so much I can say, but I'll keep it as that.
Okay, I can dig that. Because I was having this conversation, like I said, with my sister-in-law, and she's gay and everything like that, and I was asking her her thoughts on this topic, and she was like, I think it's too soon, for a lot of kids, or not too soon, but just no, I don't think they should be taught this in elementary school, or the far as I can reach or say or anything, because the world has changed and it's so different, is maybe high school. But at junior high school, elementary school, I don't think a little 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, don't really matter how old, how old they are, they don't understand it though. But they start asking questions, because I had a guy who was on my podcast and he said, hey, his son came up to him and he asked his dad, was like, hey daddy, why did this guy have on a dress? And he had to sit there, he had to explain it to him and stuff like that. Yeah, they might not understand it, but these kids grasp onto stuff, and of course they're gonna ask 1,001 questions. But the world, how the world is and the world going on, you just gotta be respectful to everyone and let everyone, live their life. And it's no right or wrong. I'm gonna put it like this: a right or wrong way to, how someone should live their life. Is just, I don't think it should be taught in schools though. But
one thing I want to say about that real quick, most of that stuff that we're talking about and it's happening is only here. You go any other place, a lot of that stuff ain't happening. A lot of that stuff is not happening. It's only here because we are so liberal and we let all this stuff go down. You go to, let's see, Saudi Arabia or someplace like that, That ain't happening. I heard over there in Nigeria, they ain't even letting none of that slide over there.
Oh yeah, Africa, yeah, they ain't playing.
Like they ain't playing none of that.
Yeah, but I think in
you hear a lot
Nigeria
of
they're
Jamaicans-
also still doing like female circumcisions and shit like that. That's like barbaric.
No, not really. They have like tribal things going on over there. Certain tribes of Africans, they do stuff like that. You know what I mean? But that's not forced upon. Like the women in Nigeria or whatever part of Africa you from, it's not forced upon. If you part of that tribe, you know what go down. You know what I'm saying? You can leave and do your own thing. You know. But yeah, it's not being accepted around the world. But America, this is where everybody learns to do crazy stuff from.
Modern day Babylon,
it will
baby.
spread like wildfire. Okay, the rest of us, we're going to follow suit at some point. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunate though. All right, you guys, man, this has been a dope show here. The season premiere episode of Beyond 1130. I want to shout out my guy Kofi Weedston, one half of the Dirty Hills Wrestling Podcast, for coming through here on the show. Appreciate you, my guy. He said he had to go work and then get on, man. Appreciate you. For everyone, the links will be down below here on YouTube. For the Dirty Hills Wrestling Podcast, if everyone that's watching, or if you interested in wrestling or want to just keep up with Kofi Weedston. But once again, this is a wrap for the season premiere episode of Beyond 1130. I want to thank all my guests. Once again, Kofi Weedston, Rose Cee, Mama Life, Tania from Notorious Moms the Podcast, and of course my guys from the Shockalou Dreams Podcast, man. Love it, love it, love it. But before you guys go, man, any questions, anything you guys want to say, you want to drop your social media handles, tell people where they can hit you at, all that great stuff, man. Where they can catch the podcast at. Whoever want to go first. We're gonna let the ladies go first. Rose and Tanya, whoever want to go first.
Go ahead, Rosie.
On the spot.
Yes. I guess I'll go first real quick since my husband making faces at me from the office door.
Hurry up.
You can reach me. My social media is Mama Life +3. My podcast, of course, is on all platforms: Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor, wherever you look for podcasts. And my podcast is called Mama Life, not Mama Life +3. It's called Mama Life. So, yeah.
All right, guys, man. Definitely links will be down below for Mama Life. Get at her, man, for real. And make sure you follow her on Instagram. Definitely follow her on Instagram, you guys. Taya?
Yes, I am Notorious Moms with a Z, the podcast, everywhere. My YouTube is Notorious Moms, the podcast, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. My website is notoriousmomsthepodcast.com. Check out my merch. Follow, subscribe, and like and comment. Thanks, Dre, for having me on the show. It was dope.
Thank you. No problem. And the Notorious Moms, the podcast. The links will be down below, you guys. And definitely follow her on Instagram too. Shockalou Dreams, the Dr. Shockalou Dreams, my guy.
Oh, you guys already know, man. I am your boy, the infamous Dr. Shockalou, and beside me is my boy Big G, aka Supreme Rex. And with that podcast show and us combined, we are Shockalou Dreams, baby. We are that podcast show that talks that shit, walks that shit, and always going to be about that shit.
Shockalou Dreams.
People, with that being said, don't forget to check us out on all major platforms. That is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora. We are also on Facebook Live. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. I mean, we're on all major platforms, people. So don't forget to check us out, and don't forget to check out these two lovely ladies' platforms too. You guys said their names too fast, so I can't remember them. But my man gonna put that information down there. So check them out. Yeah.
Tanya from the Notorious Moms and Rosie from Mama Life. Definitely.
You heard them. Check them out. They seem like they're some pretty cool chicks, and they seem like they got some pretty good content. And don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, and share my man's podcast show, the 1130 podcast show, because if it wasn't
1130,
this wouldn't even be happening. So thank you, sir, for letting us be on your podcast show.
Yes.
And Supreme Rex, is there anything you want to say, big dog?
Hey, I appreciate the invite. You know, it was fun. Maybe we do it again. You know, on your boy Supreme Rex. Y'all check us out, Shockalou Podcast, Shockalou Dreams Podcast, and that's about all I got to say to them.
And please, ladies, let's exchange some information or something. Or please let me get your intel on the gram or anything so I can follow you guys. And I would love to do some shows with y'all, man. We talk about serious topics, and we also have little reaction cans. We do like 10 little videos and stuff, and then we let people talk about them. You know, it's usually just people doing silly things like they fall or somebody saying something, you know, something, anything. But we just, you know, it's whatever. So we would definitely love Mr. 1130 on there, Rose, and my light-skinned mama. We would love for you to be on the show too. So please, everybody, mess with us and mess with them, because it's all about networking and keeping this thing going. And people, before I get off and start talking, please, people, understand, we have to stick together. We have to stick together for this to be a better place and to have a better world. We have to stick together. Mothers and fathers, you must work. I don't care how pissed off you guys are with each other. I mean, if you weren't that pissed off to have a baby, so make it work. I'm not saying that it's the best person you probably had a child with, but try to make it work. Do it for the child's sake, because once again, the statistics say a child with both parents in the household have a better chance of being successful than just having one. So think with logic, my people. And before you have kids, think of who you messing with you. And that's it.
I appreciate it, Dr. Shockalou. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone coming through here, taking the invite, coming on the season premiere episode. You guys, man, sit tight. We're going to chop it up real fast before I let you guys go. But for everyone who's tuning in here on the season premiere episode here on YouTube, I thank you guys so much, man. I hope everyone is enjoying their holidays and ate good for Thanksgiving. My birthday was a couple of days ago. I turned 32 years old. Thank you.
Birthday,
so,
bro.
I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Man, this has been an exciting year being a dad. And when I was about to be a dad, I was like, yo, man, this is the episode that I'm gonna come up with to try to talk about some, dad-like things and some stuff that I been through on the podcast. But there's more episodes, you guys. This is just the first episode of the season. I want to shout out Rose Cee, Mama Life, for coming through here. Tania from Notorious Moms the Podcast, Dr. Shockalou, and once again, Kofi Weedston. Before I go, you know what time it is. Don't forget to follow the 1130 Podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at the 1130 Podcast. Like the 1130 Podcast on Facebook. And if you haven't done so, this whole entire fabulous episode, for real, hit that subscribe button down below. Like it, leave a comment, and tell me what you think about the show, what you want to hear us talk about on the show, because there's more topics going to be like this throughout the season, for real. Follow me on TikTok. I'm trying to get my thing on, man, and get that going on and stuff. And also follow me on Instagram at the 1130 Podcast _ I think that's it. All right, man. It's been a great one. I'm so excited. I was nervous before this show, but I'm always feeling relief afterwards, man, because some people I always hear, if you ain't nervous about something, then you don't care, because this means a whole lot to me, and I appreciate everyone tuning in and coming through here on the podcast. But yes, that's enough of me rambling on. Hope you guys enjoy you guys' weekend. I'll see you next time here on Beyond 1130. Stay blessed, stay safe. Give all the glory to God. From myself, Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, Dr. Shockalou, Kofi Weedston, Mama Life, Tania. Appreciate everyone. Thank you. Thank you.